else who's been unemployed for a while who can relate to this. But I feel like since I've been unemployed, like my life has been on hold. And I don't mean it like just from like the standpoint of like financially, like, oh, I don't have a job, like I can't afford it.
So Big Pharma is conducting their own layoffs. I mean, everyone originally thought that Big Pharma was honestly pretty safe, but then you got like Novo Nordisk firing like 9,000 people, several hundred being fired around the New Jersey area. It's not good. Even Big Pharma. And as profitable as these guys are, they're conducting their own serious layoffs. In fact, layoffs from just 6 major pharmaceutical companies could be wiping over 39,000 jobs. Look at the amount of layoffs so far. It's getting out of control. Novo Nordisk, 9,000. Merck, 6,000. BMS, 2,700 people. Bayer, 12,000 here and there. Pfizer's announcing a few thousand. It's looking like it's going to be a bad time. And it's not just going to be the pharmaceutical industry conducting layoffs, but the overall job market is getting pretty cooked, as even the federal government is on track to shed 300,000 workers by the year's end. And that is big. And this is kind of like the reason why, like, you know, so many people are complaining, why is it so hard to find a job? Like, this guy is saying that they put in like 100 applications a day, never get an interview or call back, doesn't understand the job market, and just hates the job market overall. You know, have experience, you know, got a lot of work stuff, used to work in a lot of these sectors, and honestly deserves a job. But because the job market is so incredibly competitive and there's not really that many jobs to go around with, there's not that many choices, basically. You know, you can have a Bachelor of Science for like a STEM degree. You know, you are just going to be working for like Walmart. I know so many people who just have great degrees.
Hey, shalom, shalom. All praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishop, the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings, salutations to you fellow brothers pushing out this word in truth and sincerity. All right, shalom to the elect. You know, also shalom to the few sisters out there that are listening in, tuning in. All right, and follow the prophets and the truth. Okay, this is a video, you know, as you see from Market Games. This is a channel, so fair use, fair use. Okay, this is some this has been an ongoing trend, especially in 2025. Major layoffs. Okay, major layoffs. 39,000 pharmaceutical jobs. They you know are gone. Okay, as well as over 300,000 federal government jobs are gone as well. Remember Doge? So that's still going on. It's not in the news like that, but it's still going on. Everything's moving over to AI. There's major layoffs in all sectors. And the people are complaining. I'm going to play a little bit of this video, maybe another video. There's a lot of videos of people going into these different layoffs in these different sectors. You have a lot of big chain businesses, box stores that are going out of business. A lot of big chain restaurants, as well as the mom and pops, they're all going out of business. It's very hard to survive. And one thing that you've been seeing is a lot of women complaining about not being able to find a job. But before we go there and play some more of this video, let's go into Isaiah, the 19th chapter, and we'll get a couple of scriptures because this we understand this to be prophecy. See, nobody else can understand it through the lens of the Bible. All right, the Lord told us that there was going to be no work. That was one of the signs of, basically the end is the job market, the grinding will cease. And this is what we're witnessing right now. So when these 300,000 jobs, 250,000 jobs, 30,000 jobs, when them job them job openings are closed and these people are fired, no, they're not opening back up those, up those jobs. New jobs are not coming back. AI is taking over. This is all Agenda 2030. We're moving forward to this new normal. Okay, Isaiah 19:15. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. And we know, according to the precepts, one of the precepts, Revelation 11:8, okay, it speaks about spiritual Egypt as well as spiritual Sodom. We know that to be fulfilled in America, which is Babylon the Great. So this is speaking about not ancient Egypt, all right, but spiritual Egypt, which is America. Okay, and spiritual Egypt had all 12 tribes in captivity, just like ancient Egypt, did I say spiritual? Ancient Egypt had all 12 tribes in captivity. Okay, like the new Egypt, the modern Egypt, which is America, has all 12 tribes in captivity. All right, and you see the Esau going heavy on immigration, deporting individuals. Okay, deporting a lot of the Latin tribes, which fulfill a lot of these, low end jobs, 10, 12, 13, $14 an hour, maybe sometimes lower than that, $8 an hour. And none of these Americans want to work those jobs, all right, because it's literally impossible for you to work, for $8 to $10 and survive. You barely pay your phone bill, the internet bill. You definitely living with multiple people in the household. You definitely don't have financial freedom. So the people are tired of it, but this goes back to biblical prophecy. We are at the end, and as more jobs are lost and not coming back, these people are going to lose it. Also, I want to go to 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. We'll go there as well. But let's go back to this video, and let's play some more of this video.
Degrees, great grades, amazing experiences, they can't get into big pharma because they accept less than 5% of people, right? They can't get into the federal government and get one of these federal jobs because of a federal hiring freeze going on. They can't get into tech because of all the tech layoffs. Now they can't even get into Walmart because everyone's applying to these places. The job market sucks. Check out some of these videos.
It drives me nuts. Why does it take 10 years to apply to one singular job? One singular job. It's a full-time job just applying to jobs to find another job. First, you have to find a good job listing and ones that aren't scams. You can't just use Indeed. You can't just use LinkedIn. You got to scour the internet. And then when you find the job listing, you have to go to the company's actual website and click their careers page and find the job listing there and apply through the company website. How to do all the digging. You can't just do easy apply on Indeed or LinkedIn or anything like that. Nothing can be easy about finding a job. They have to make it as hard as possible for you. Once you've actually found a good, decent job listing where they're not asking you to give away your whole entire soul and first child for $30,000 a year, now you need to apply. You click on apply. You have to make an account. You have to make an account. You have to make a username and password for an account for this website that you're probably never going to log into again. So then you make an account. Oh, and I forgot, before you upload your resume, you need to go to your resume and remake it so it is perfectly for that job listing. You have to go through your resume and tweak it for every single job that you apply to. You're applying to different types of jobs. You have to tweak it and make sure all the keywords that are in that job listing are in your resume, or else it's not going to make it through the little AI whatever system that they send all the resumes through. You're applying to the job. You upload your resume thinking, okay, I'm going to upload my resume. It's going to autofill everything for me so I don't have to type everything out again. No, you upload your resume and then it either doesn't populate or it does it wrong. And so you still have to...
Basically, this is just a video of Gen Zers, millennials, complaining about not being able to find jobs and how hard it is to get a job. These individuals that come out of college, rack up a whole bunch of student loan debt and get these, degrees from these colleges that are really worth nothing. Because then you come out of college and then it's well, you need experience. Well, I just got out of college. How am I going to get experience? Well, you need 5-10 years experience. So it's damn, what do I do? And then if you have the experience, then they want a college degree, and then you want a pay cut. You're not trying to get out of college and take $19 an hour. Especially live in one of these major cities where rent is $2,000, $1,800, $1,900. In other cities, it could be a little bit lower, but it ain't really a lot of jobs in those other cities like that. Whether you have to do construction or,
to go through every single field and fill it out yourself and fix it. And then once you get through all of that, sometimes they ask for references. And so then you've got to fill out all the references. Who even asks for references these days? I feel 95% of people lie on the references anyways and have their friends, and they just know hey, I'm applying to jobs. If somebody calls you about me, just say good things. This is what I said that you do. Most people lie about that anyways. Not saying I do. And then after you get through that, I've had some of them ask for letters from my references. Once I got to that point, I hit the X. I got out of that window so quick. Nope, I ain't doing that. And then once you've done all that, you got to do the gender and race and ethnicity, all those questions, which those are usually easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And sometimes they get you right at the end. They get you right at the end when you think you're done. And they're they give you a little question window, and they ask you, now tell us about yourself and why you think you would be a great fit for our company. And then you have to write a paragraph about yourself, a perfectly worded paragraph about yourself. Are you kidding me? And then after you've written your perfectly worded paragraph about yourself, why you are the most perfect person in the whole entire world, then you can finally submit it. And then you will 95% of
the interview process for a job for 2 months, and I literally just found out I didn't get the job. I really wanted it too. for a couple different reasons.
And one thing you're seeing is a lot of women are, struggling to get jobs. A lot of these women are just broke, and then they believe that their worth is greater than what it really is. And being a wife, a mother, a home taker, I believe that's what they call it, or, taking care of the home, that is not a profession that these modern women want to take on. That's slavery to them. But they'll go and slave for some type of company if they can get, a little bit of money. But see, it's going back to that ancient world where these women, they're going to be looking for a man. All right, because there's going to be there's going to be no options. What other options you going to have? There's no jobs out there. What other options? Let me get Ecclesiastes 12. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. And we're approaching the evil days. Okay, these are going to be some terrible times. There's going to be no jobs. Everything, AI took everything over, and this is why you had. Let me pull up something. Let me see if I can get Elon Musk and a lot of these tech guys, a lot of these people in government. They spoke about universal basic. And just remember, we've been speaking about this for years, from our apostles and elders on down, and now these things are starting to come to pass. Okay, these things are starting to come to pass, and now all of a sudden people want to be hip to it. Well, we've been told you that this is the trajectory that the so-called white man's going to go in. All these jobs are being threatened. Okay, AI's taking over. Okay, you can do AI every month is getting better, because there's just so much data that's being put into it, and it's learning. So it's artificial intelligence. Okay, and a lot of these jobs are now moving over to robotics. They're moving over to you got self-driverless cars, the Waymos. You got autonomous vehicles where they don't need a person in it, or you got food delivery robots. Okay, you got drones. All right, everything's moving over to AI. Everything wants to be controlled. Everything Esau wants to do is being controlled by AI now. And so the humans, you're being phased out. Remember the Georgia Guidestones, to maintain population to 500 million in perpetual balance with nature, meaning they want to take a lot of you people out. All right, and this is part of it. All right, and there's going to be a crying for wine in the streets. People are going to be complaining, and what is going to be the solution? Universal basic income. So this is fair use. Let's play this.
Enjoy.
And this is with AI threatening jobs, is it time for a universal basic income? See? So they're getting the people fed up. Like in this video, we'll go back here. The people are fed up. I can't find a job. I can't find a job. This is stupid. So now that the people are fed up, now it's time to start rolling out the universal basic income. Now, mind you, all these years that they've been, quietly speaking about universal basic income, and I did videos on it in the past, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, where they already had pilot programs. There's already pilot programs all throughout the United States and the world where they're secretly giving people, $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month, and they're running it through a pilot. And it's basically like a test to see how people react, to see how, the ins and the outs, to perfect the system. And now we're in a time where they're getting ready to roll this out globally. Okay? They're getting ready to roll this out globally. Just like the digital ID. And I want to do another video. I'm going to go into Sweden. Is it Sweden? I have the information. Give me a second. I put it on the thread. Give me 1 second, because Lord's Will, I'm gonna do a video on that. Where am I? Yes, Switzerland. Switzerland just approved the digital ID, right? So the UK just did it, right? And when we said it, remember, we said it. It's a domino effect. The UK did it, and then all these different governments in Europe are going to start doing it. And what do you know? A few days later, Switzerland rolled it out. Okay, a few years back, they've been trying to roll it out, but it's been getting thrown out. But now we're in a time where the sentiment is there. The sentiment is there now. All right, and they'll pay off and buy out certain individuals or vote a particular way, but the sentiment is there. Okay.
Enjoying a drink and time with friends could become more commonplace as artificial intelligence threatens to rapidly change millions of jobs.
AI is not only a coming but also a reality. People are going to lose their jobs, and we're going to have to find a way through the transition.
That's what's actually happening, and they've been telegraphing this play for years. They've been putting these things in movies, predicted. Y'all always talk about movies, man. Y'all the movie prop. All right, well, somebody like that is just a fool, because the Lord has particular things that He has these nations do, especially Esau. That it's all part of their craft. It's all part of their witchcraft. They put it out in front of you, just like the Lord is telling you what's getting ready to happen before it happens. You have Satan on the left hand side that does that as well. So they've been telegraphing this play for a long time, but now to 2025, and we're getting closer to, when they want to fully implement everything, they're rolling out fast. The people are ready.
An obligation-free payment could provide the safety net we need.
See, it's safety, because there's no more jobs. So what do we do? Let's just give people credits. Let's just give people money. And how are they going to be able to give those people that money? Well, it's going to be through a digital currency. Okay? It's going to be through a fucking digital currency. And we've been saying it. We never changed on our position. Then you should know that there has been a prophet among you. Okay?
We could have a universal basic income. It's a bet that, we can provide meaningful lives for all our citizens.
Billionaire Elon Musk believes it's inevitable.
I don't think we're going to have a choice.
And we have a recent example.
Yeah, because he's an insider.
Of why we might need
and a
it.
small hat.
Shutting down. Victoria closes all pubs, clubs and gyms while police set up a new coronavirus task force.
Researcher Ben Spies Butcher says government support during the pandemic was a natural experiment.
So you see, you can watch those videos on your own, but you get that, right? Hopefully you get that. I mean, how much more receipts do you need? This is all prophecy. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Remember now that thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Yeah, because you get old and it's like, you did what you had to do. You're supposed to remember the Lord when you're young. The Lord wants you to come to Him when you're young, when you're in your strength. Okay, you have not been defiled, like that in this world, going into different, everybody has their own, everybody has, the time that they come in. But for the most part, the Lord, He calls a young man. All right, some of us are older when we come in. All right, but remember the Lord. Remember now that I created the days of thy youth, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, the economists are the people that actually look after the economy. When you go into that word, keepers, okay, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And this is a grim reality that these so-called tech billionaires, these so-called intellectuals, these philanthropists, these people that have a so-called voice in this world, futurists, individuals. You got something called a futurist. Hold on, a futurist. Futurists are people whose specialty or interest is future studies or futurology, or the attempt to systematically explore predictions and possibilities about the future and how they can emerge from the present, whether that is of human society in particular or of life on Earth in general. So you have, individuals that pretty much, so-called predict the future. They're called futurists that look further off into the distance and say, hey, look, really the way that, the society is going, by 2030, we're probably going to have a basic universal basic income, or somewhere within the next 10 to 20 years or 5 years, AI is going to take over. They've been saying this for years. But we're actually seeing we're seeing this actually happen in increments. 20,000 jobs there, 30,000 jobs there, 200,000 jobs there. Government shut down here. Okay, these businesses go out of business. These stores shut down. Okay, you still have the retail. When you look at it, the retail apocalypse. Okay. Twice as many, this is from Forbes, twice as many stores in the U.S. are expected to close. Give me a second. Are expected to close in 2025. I got an ad blocker, so they're not going to let me use their website. In 2025, the retail apocalypse is expected to see a record 15,000 store closures in the U.S., significantly impacting brick and mortar retails, particularly in fashion and pharmacy sectors. This trend is driven by inflation and growing preference for online shopping, leading to a shift in the retail landscape. So when there's all these store closures, right? When there's all these store closures, that means it said brick and mortar. Who works in the brick and mortar? Individuals, humans that need that money to survive. But everything is turning over to online, and AI now is starting to control that. So there's no need for the human person. You might need just a couple of people just to make sure the AI is good. Okay, people to work in the warehouse just to ship things. But even that's getting to a point to where things are being more automized, or basically robots are now controlling it. Automation. I believe you could say automized. Okay, atomized, not itemized. Okay, you have robots now that let's look it up. Robots in a warehouse. Fair use. See that? You got a person, you still need like a person, but you don't need multiple people. Maybe you can cut down 20 personnel now that you got work robots doing it. Just maybe one or two overseers. This is all going to be done. That you see this person right? Hold on. You see this person right here? You got robots that can do this. Pick up packages and put it in the boxes. He's going to be obsolete in the future. Customers' orders are assembled by up to 500 robots. Does this look familiar in these, so-called futuristic movies? Right? These so-called dystopian movies where everything is everything is used by robots. Oh, you great, man. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all stupid. Yo, you don't know. All right, well, keep pushing. Keep that same energy. Your ass is probably going to be out of a job real soon. Trying to find a job. Okay, the Lord is going to take care of his elect. Okay, we ain't worried about that. We ain't see, the job is not the end all be all. Fuck a job. Okay, really, when it comes down to it, to hell with these jobs. Okay, it's the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai that really, he takes care of us. So even the job that you got, the Lord allowed you to get that job. And he don't want you to have a job. He's not going to give you a job. And this is the judgment that these people are getting ready to experience. Their quality of life is getting ready to be completely diminished. Remember, they said it at the WEF. They said what? You shall own nothing and be happy. Meaning, shut the hell up. Okay, I'm going to give you what I want to give you. You got universal basic income. You can eat meat once a month. Okay? And you better spend them credits. And if you say something against the government, I'm going to cut your ass off. Okay, we're going dystopian. Okay? And this is all biblical prophecy. And the Lord is going to deliver his elect out of all these things. I want to get a precept real quick. Bear with me. Okay. This is Revelation 15:2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire. And them that had gotten the victory over the beast, because this beast system, this is that old ancient Roman Empire coming back. Okay, in the form of America, NATO, and the EU, these Edomite nations. All right, and they're trying to bring in that old system, but with new technology. Okay, Esau's not playing. He's getting ready to pretty much prison planet. He's getting ready to lock everybody up. All right, in his mind through digital means. Okay, the final cherry on the top is the RFID microchip, and we're going to continue to say it. We don't give a shit what anybody got to say. This is what it is. All right, and everything is moving forward. Everything's going towards that trajectory. Everything's trending towards biblical prophecy. And over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of the Most High. So John saw the elect over the firmament, looking down at the lake of fire, seeing America burned up. Okay, and these individuals that were in that chariot, the fathership with Yahweh Shai, they actually were delivered from this shit that's coming down on the earth. So we gonna experience layoffs. We gonna experience different civil wars, skirmishes, race wars. We're gonna be in the midst of all this. Digital. We gonna have digital IDs. We gonna be having digital money. But see, where the elect stop is when he says, you know what, we need to put this inside of us now. That's where the elect says no. Enough is enough, and that's when the Lord is gonna destroy this place. Okay, let's play a little bit more of this. I mean, there's so many videos. You see this? This is all robots. You got a couple of people, but they're going to be phased out. It says in total, they calculate at least 3 billion routes combinations. This is the future is now. We in the future. What are you waiting? What are you waiting for? Look, you got a goddamn robot climbing up a goddamn ladder or something. Look at this. See that? You don't need the forklift. You don't need the forklift no more. They're working on this technology right now. They're actually rolling out. They're using it right now. They're phasing you out. And what are they going to give you? They're going to give you universal basic income. But that's going to be tied to what? Your biometrics. Okay, and you're going to have no choice because there's going to be we read the scripture. There's going to be no more work for Egypt. Okay, let's go back. Did I finish Ecclesiastes? Right? Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Because there's going to be the mirth of the land is going to be gone. The grind is going to be gone. Grinding representing what? Working. And even the prophets are going to stop doing the work. Meaning the Lord is all right, you did it already. All right, now we going to the next stage. All right, you don't have to prophesy no more. Already said what I had to say. All right, now it's time for me to bring down the judgment. All right, so we love doing the work. We love prophesying, but this is only for a particular time. It's not like the Lord. We just gonna keep prophesying, and then our children are gonna be raised up, a new crop of prophets. Nah, bro, this is it. All right, and when the Lord when He cleaves our mouth to the roofs of our tongue to the roofs of our mouth, like He did Ezekiel, we're gonna know. We're not gonna. Do we stop now? We're gonna already know that because Esau's gonna make it illegal. If he make it illegal, that means we can't do it. That means we going to the next stage, and we're moving forward. But for right now, we still have liberty to push this truth. All right, so you see AI taking on. I want to get one more. It was a short. It's that Speed dude. He's a influencer, and he was with a robot. So they're already rolling this shit out too, right here. Well, yeah, this is one. Well, here's the video. He buys a goddamn robot. But let's right here.
What?
This is a goddamn robot. This is a robot.
Vacuum. Yo. Anything, everybody? He's about to vacuum.
And they're using these influencers to make it popular.
I got you, Robert.
So you and this is why Trump don't need you migrants, you so-called Mexicans and Hispanics. He don't need you because he rolling this shit out. He don't need you to clean the house no more. He got a goddamn robot to clean the house. Okay, what does he need you for? What are you just a useless eater.
What the hell? This is our actual robot in here. How is he gonna turn it on?
See?
What? He's cleaning. Okay, Robert, stop and give me a drink. What?
You see that? The nigga named Robert. Okay.
Who else wants? Oh, Rudy. You know I see you, boy. I see you, Rudy. Yeah. Come here, man. Whoa, what you doing?
See, so you can put on glasses and you can control. It's real. It's getting real freaky. It's getting real futuristic. So I mean, regardless of how you feel about it, it's happening. Okay, I want to go to I'm done there. We're done there. I'm gonna go. We'll play a little bit more of this video.
Doing these updates.
Hold on. Well, this is another video. He was this jig. I was watching this earlier. He was going into mass layoffs in the government. Okay, major layoffs. All right. Yeah, we don't. I don't want to really play this video. We'll go back here.
It was gonna really bring me back to something that I did in my childhood, and my sister does. Kind of like a bring me back home kind of moment. Hold on. Okay, I just had to pull myself together. They said they just went a different direction, and I totally get that. But
it's over for you Edomites. You Edomites, you the new niggas.
Like I said, I went through the interview process for 2 months, and I felt like I had some strong interviews. There was one person in the interview who I felt didn't feel very strongly about me. Like she just didn't like she didn't like me very much, which is totally fine. That happens in interviews.
Hundreds of jobs over the last few weeks. I've been without work for 3 weeks now, and I have been non-stop applying to literally everywhere, and have yet to find a single job in my area. Of course, there are places that are hiring for $12 an hour, $13 an hour, but I can't survive off of that.
See? She's not going to take a $12, $13 an hour job. The Latin tribes would.
So it's not that people don't want to work, it's that people don't want to work for pennies. People don't want to work to not be able to pay their bills. People don't want to work to not be able to feed their kids. I just cannot understand why it is this hard to find a job right now. Like, I cannot keep going on like this.
Because it's prophecy. your world is getting ready to end. Well, she looks like an Edomite. More than likely, she's an Edomite. But nevertheless, this world is gone. Esau is the end of the world. Okay, let's go to. Well, I'm gonna just wrap it up. We're gonna go to 2 Ezra 15, and we can go really all day long. Okay, because it's so much evidence, so much proof. Okay, that what we've been saying from our apostles and elders on down is coming to pass. Okay, and your belief is not a requirement for this to happen or not. All right, you believing or not believing is not going to stop this train. All right, the scriptures speak about how the Lord the Slakia, I got a text. The scriptures speak about how the Lord will do all His pleasure. Okay, so this is all the plan of the Heavenly Father. He already preordained. He already prescribed this. Revealing the end from the beginning. Okay. But let me go to the point. Basically, well, it's going to go right back into Egypt because America is modern day Egypt. Look at look on the back of the dollar bill, and there's so many. You know what? I don't want to. We'll do that a different day. But you know what? Let's do this. Kind of want to. Let's see. Give me 10 comparisons of ancient Egypt and America. Okay. And could Isaiah 19 second Esdras 15 be speaking of a spiritual Egypt that could be talking about America? It said, that's a great and layered question. Your note. So I said, give me 10 comparisons of ancient Egypt and America. And could Isaiah 19, 2 Ezra 15 be speaking of a spiritual Egypt that could be talking about America? That's a great layered question. You're noticing the biblical prophecy language about Egypt and wondering if America might be seen as spiritual Egypt. Let's tackle it in two parts. Parallelisms between ancient Egypt and America and how Isaiah 19 and 2 Ezra 15 could play. 10 comparisons. Superpower of its time. Egypt dominated military, economical, and cultural in the ancient world. America, present-day global superpower with unmatched military reach and economic influence. Wealth and luxury. Egypt known for opulence, gold, and massive building projects, pyramids, temples. America known for wealth, skyscrapers, massive infrastructure, and consumer culture. Innovation and knowledge, advanced in mathematics, medicine, architecture, and astronomy. America, leading in technology, medicine, and scientific advancements. Bullet point 4, dependence on forced labor, exploitation. Egypt built much of its empire on slavery and oppression of foreigners, notably Hebrews. Ooh, look at that. America built much of its foundation on slavery, indentured servitude, and economic exploitation. It's telling that's why it says spiritual Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, meaning cross out. All right, took in the real image of the Heavenly Father and His Son and crossed that out and put up the so-called white Christ. But they're telling me how ancient Egypt was built up into this great empire by the Hebrews, and it's the same thing. Okay, here in America, which is built up on servitude, slavery, okay, by the Hebrews, by the Israelites. So there's your comparison right there. The bullet point 5, idolatry and false gods. Egypt worshiped a pantheon of gods, animals, and pharaohs as divine. America doesn't worship literal idols as state religion, but often elevates money, celebrity, military power, and self as God. Yeah, the people now, they worship themselves. and they worship these different gods unbeknownst to them. Okay, these different designer clothes, these different celebrities. You have the whole social media aspect now, where people, actually worship themselves. Okay, fitness influencers and this and that. So it's giving you parallelisms. Okay, they was heavy in idol worship back then, and really America's even heavier in idol worship now. It's just under the different banners: Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. These are all ancient gods. Okay, just in a different name. All right, and the people are unaware of the God that they're actually worshiping, Christ. Okay, Jesus. That's an idol. Okay, Islam. You got all these different religions. You got witchcraft here in America. You got ancient hoodoo, which is American witchcraft. Voodoo. You got what's the shit? The Latin tribe. They do it. The Brujeria and the Santeria. White witches, black witches, good witches, bad witches. Okay, warlocks. Most of these women are worship witchcraft. You got Jake that got the ankhs. They be wearing the ankhs and the different crosses, and they don't even know really what it means. Bullet point 6. Pharaoh versus presidency. Egypt, centralized power in Pharaoh, who ruled like a god king. And do you not see, Trump doing that? America, president isn't a god, but still carries near king-like authority in global politics. So it's really the same thing under a different banner. Okay? You can't hide yourself from the fact that this is spiritual Egypt. All right, military pride. Egypt trusted in horses, chariots, and armies. America trusted in advanced military, nuclear arsenal, and global bases. It's the same thing. It's modernized. Okay? It's futurized. Okay? 8. Oppression of outsiders. Egypt enslaved Israelites and other foreign groups. See, look at that. America accused of systematic racism, mass incarceration, and exploitation of migrants / labor. It's the same fucking thing. And they're doing it to the same people. Okay? Decline from within. Egypt fell through internal strife, corruption, and foreign invasions. America facing deep political division, moral decay, and foreign threats. So it's the same parallel of Egypt actually going down, just like America is going down, because it's spiritual. America is spiritual Egypt. Bullet point 10. Symbol of worldly powers opposed to God. Egypt, in scripture, Egypt often represents bondage, idolatry, and rebellion against the Most High. America, some argue, America spiritually fits this role. Worldly power, wealth, and rebellion against divine order. Yeah, the woman is over the man. Okay, a man could be a woman could be a man. You can marry a dog. Shit, you can marry a robot. Okay, everything is completely out of order. Everything's turned upside down. Okay, and you see the argument that we're presenting. This is an argument that you really can't you can't defy, because every week, every month, okay, news is coming out of how we were right from our apostles and elders on down about the trajectory and the future of this world. Okay, Esau is revealing himself. The other nations are revealing themselves. Jake is revealing himself to be the Israelites, even through rebellion. Okay, and everything is lining up. All these nations that are going to duke it out in this World War III that contain in the scriptures, they're all against each other. Isaiah 19 and 2 Esdras 15, spiritual Egypt in America. 19 speaks of judgment against Egypt, civil war. Has there not been talks about civil war? Egyptians against the Egyptians. Economic collapse. Do you not see videos about economic collapse? People cover this. Water dries up. Industries ruined. This is what we're literally just speaking about. Industries ruined. I can't find a job. We went into the video of how AI is taking over. All right, and universal basic income is inevitable. All right, and you have these so-called intellectuals, these so-called tech billionaires that are telling I think we're going to have no choice. Because this is the way that the wicked elite are leading everybody into this reality. Okay, and the digital IDs are here. Switzerland just approved the digital ID. Okay, the UK, United Kingdom just approved the digital ID. Germany's next. Italy, France. Okay, African nations, Russia. Everybody's going to do it. Okay, and everybody's doing it, so we're going to do it. Okay, this mirrors modern. Let me read that again. Isaiah 19 speaks of judgment against Egypt, civil war, Egyptians against Egyptians, economic collapse, water dries up, industries ruined, and fear the spirit of Egypt will fail. This mirrors modern America division, political, racial, cultural, economic vulnerabilities, and decline of unity. See? 2 Ezra 15, prophecy of wars, famine, and great destruction. It mentions Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten. Many interpreters see this as not just literal Egypt, but symbolic of end-time nations that resemble Egypt in power, pride, and oppression, which is America. America, often called Mystery Babylon or spiritual Egypt in some traditions. Who calls America Mystery Babylon, spiritual Egypt? Are the Hebrew Israelites, the one Westers, okay? Could fit this imagery. Spiritual Egypt. In Revelation 11:8, Jerusalem is called spiritual Sodom. And Egypt, no, that's not what that's talking about. It's speaking about the great city. Okay, Jerusalem, the dead body shall lie in the great city. It's speaking about our people in a dead state. So the chat went off. Okay, it says, so scripture itself uses Egypt as spiritual metaphor for a nation of oppression, pride, and rebellion, which they're right. And that's America. So the conclusion, let's read the conclusion of this chat and what this artificial intelligence demon said. Okay, so yes, many biblical students and teachers interpret Isaiah 19 and 2 Ezra 15 as potentially pointing to a symbolic Egypt in the last days, which could be understood as America. It power, oppression, pride, and eventual internal collapse. And this is literally what we're experiencing right now. We're living through it. We're living through the fall and the collapse of Babylon the Great. People are coming online and complaining of no jobs. Meanwhile, they're rolling out this robotic technology. Meanwhile, all these nations are going to digital currencies. Meanwhile, these nations are at war with each other, whether hot wars or cold wars or covert wars. Okay, or just straight up, they blowing each other up. And then you have these world leaders that are just going crazy. Okay, so how could you not? Let's go back to 2 Ezra 15 and let's just finish this. Okay. I wanted to type that in to see what chat had to say and basically came to the conclusion with those two scriptures, we could have gave it more, that it agreed that America could be talking about, or spiritual Egypt could be talking about America. And in certain thoughts, certain realms, people believe that Mystery Babylon. Okay, who else could it be? Okay, who else could it be? Let's go. 2 Ezra 15 and 10. It says, "Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt." It's not speaking about ancient Egypt. Okay. For the most part, our people are out of Egypt. The Arabs are in Egypt. Now you got, our people mingled amongst them. All right. But it's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's talking about spiritual Egypt. And even the chat agreed. "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm." Who was that? That's Yahweh Shai coming in the chariot. Oh, you got the chariot sightings. So what other proof do you need? Ultimately, if you're part of the elect, you're going to believe. If you're not part of the elect, you're not going to believe. That's really what it comes down to. If you can't see it, that means the Most High has blinded your eyes. Okay? But the Lord, he has opened up our eyes. He has given us the eye salve to see these things. And not only to see these things, but to actually prophesy about these things actually coming to pass. And all these things are coming to pass. Okay? "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Ancient Egypt was not destroyed. Okay. The whole land was not destroyed. It said the Lord is going to plague Egypt again. It's not, no, Egypt is never in the news. Ancient Egypt, where them Arabs are at. Nobody is thinking about, oh, the Egyptians, they're going to be the next great superpower. And everybody's trying to move to Egypt. And nobody want to go to Egypt. Them Palestinians don't even want to go to Egypt. They want to stay in Palestine. Okay? Which that's not even their land, which our people are mingled amongst them as well. We're scattered amongst all nations looking at these other nations. But nobody is speaking about Egypt. Everybody speaks about America. America is the glory of the whole earth. Okay, America is the darling. Okay, there's all eyes are on America. Okay. But I will bring them, I read that, verse 12. Egypt shall mourn. We're in the state. Look, these people are mourning.
This without any work, and I just can't afford to, and I literally don't know what I'm gonna do. And I am desperately searching for a job. And I can't find one. So.
Desperately searching for a job, and see, it's not bad, it's not completely bad. It's gonna get so desperate where they're gonna be running after men to help them. Have you ever been with a woman that was desperate to get with you? Like, I gotta get with you. That's how it's gonna be. They're gonna be faced with no choice.
Wish me luck on my job searching.
Unemployed for 4 months now, and it's been rough. It's been rough financially, emotionally for sure. Oh my gosh, the amount of mental battles I've had with myself, trying to stay positive, beating myself up, all of the above. It's crazy.
Mourn. They mourning. Isaiah 24 chapter, one of my favorite chapters. Okay, what is it called? Let me just read. I'm about to butcher it. Isaiah 24. These people are catching hell. Good for their ass, man. Okay, good for them. I'm going to read from the top. It says, Behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste, and turneth it upside down, and scattereth abroad the inhabitants thereof. And it shall be as with the people, so with the priest, as with the servant, so with his master, as with the maid, so with her mistress, as with the buyer, so with the seller, as with the lender, so with the borrower, as with the taker of usury, so with the giver of usury too. I mean, everybody's getting ready to feel it. At least they're getting ready to be pulled out of power. But they're going to do this last power grab. They're going to go through with the plan. They're rolling it out right now as we speak. And they're not going to slow down. The spirit of Satan is on them to do it. And the Lord has commissioned them to basically go through with the plan. Even though they're being exposed. Okay? The Lord shall, the land shall be utterly empty. This is speaking about that spiritual Egypt like we're talking about. Okay, which is America. And even ChatGPT agreed. And utterly spoiled, for the Lord has spoken his word. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. So they're in a state of languishing. They're in a state of mourning. Languish means to grow weak, to grow tired, to droop. Okay, and we're seeing these people literally online, basically giving their testimony. I'm through.
Never experienced something like this before, but you gotta keep going. There's nothing you can do besides.
See, there's still some type of glimmer of hope, but it's gonna come to the grim reality where there is. You keep going where? Your ass gonna keep going right to that motherfucking chipping station. God damn it. Okay, that's where you people going. You going right to the chipping station.
Keep going, because you stop and nothing's gonna happen. I have a job interview today. I've gone on a couple. This is my first one with this company, but I reached out to them, talked to them a little bit, and then invited me in for an interview. So,
but you can see the contrast between a man and a woman. The woman, she's cooked. She just distraught, emotional. The man, he still has. It looked like a Jake. He still has. A man are more resilient or more stronger. They gonna go get it, and we're gonna get that in Sector 15. How they gonna be going house to house, okay, taking goods. And you women gonna be part of them goods. You're gonna get snatched up and you're gonna get used and abused. That's the reality of most of these American women. They're getting ready to be used and abused, if you know what I mean.
I come back today with positive news, or sometime this week with positive news that I have a job. So
and see, Jake throughout this is just still positive. But that's the spirit of the Israelites. All right, but we have that positivity on the right hand side, okay, because everything is up. We just read in Revelation the 15th chapter how the remnant got victory. All right, so victory has been given to us. We just must continue to believe. That's all the requirement, is to believe and do the works.
Wish me luck.
Hey guys, just got done crashing out and crying my eyes out. I think we're all aware that the job market.
The woman crying her eyes out, and then she gonna turn the recorder and spew the madness. The Lord got the spirit on these people to speak these things, and this is just a testament that this place is going down, bro. It's going down. Okay.
Market is an absolute joke right now. I have been applying.
Seeing all these things shall be dissolved. What manner of man should you ought to be in all holy conversation and godliness? I mean, what's going to be dissolved? America. The jobs. What the fuck is a job? That's some bullshit, bro. That's slavery. But you got our people that's the end all be all to their legacy. You know, getting a good job. Okay, being a slave. Or my sister called me the other day. I'm just, I'm like, just like my dad. Just slaving, just working, slaving. I got to work. I'm like, damn, that's all you do is work. And your health failing. These people are forced to work and their health is failing them as well. Their mind is failing them. And then they don't understand all the things that are going on around them. They can't compute it. I just got to keep moving forward. I just got to work. I got to find a job. I got to do whatever I got to do.
For months and months with no luck at all. And I know so many of you watching this right now can relate to that. I'd love to start exploring other avenues that'll give me a stream of income. So yeah,
you know what you're going to be exploring, other avenues. You know what other avenues most of you women going to turn to. It's getting like that. And what's it called? Selling, these women selling their body. A lot of women just turn to selling their body. They might not go out on the street. They just on some OnlyFans, on some online shit, on some, ads online and men, paying them to, what.
For any of you guys that have tried freelancing or currently do.
So you can see they're cooked. These people are cooked. Let's continue. Okay. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. And this is all part of the punishments. Okay. They that till the ground shall mourn. So these farmers are going to mourn. All right. And there's a big assault on these American farmers. They're complaining that they can't sell their goods due to the tariffs, and as well as there's different plights and plagues that are affecting the crops. Okay, and you need food, like that's essential nutrients that you gotta have food. Okay, or you're gonna die. They that till the ground shall mourn, their seed shall fall through the blasting and the hail, and with fearful consolation. Because what the farmers will look in, the ancient farming, they will look into the heavens and see the constellation. Okay, we're going to have we need to plant on this day. We're going to have a good season. But like, look to the future. They're going to be like, we cooked. We're done. Okay, the government is not even allowing us to plant. We can't even sell our goods. Okay, we don't even have workers. We don't even have workers to actually pick the goods. Okay, you have Trump coming in, snatching people up. Who is he snatching up? He's snatching up all the workers that pick all your crops. And you Americans, you're not trying to go pick goddamn tomatoes for $8 an hour. You're not about to do that. Okay, so what's going to happen? Everything's failing. Okay, and again, just like the Georgia Guidestones, they want to maintain population of 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So meaning what? You got to go. Okay, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Yeah, it's just we've been speaking about judgment for years from our apostles and elders on down, and we're starting to see all this manifest. We're seeing all the dominoes or all the puzzle pieces but be put in the perfect position and for the Most High to strike. The snare, the trap is already laid. And you see the sentiment on the people. They're like, there's no jobs. What am I going to do? I've been searching for a job for 4 or 5 months. Okay, and I've been a thousand resumes I sent in, and nobody hit me back. What are most people going to do? They're going to turn to crime. All right, they're going to turn to sex work. Okay, but that's even going to dry up because nobody's going. We just read the scripture. There shall be no work for Egypt. Okay, this is why they're pushing the universal basic income. Okay, and this is why Switzerland, they just approved the digital ID. So this system is being rolled out, whether you like it, believe it or not. Okay, you not believing it, you scoffing up again. It's still gonna come. It's still coming, whether you like it or not. Okay, so it says, woe meaning destruction, verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh. See? It's coming. Your destruction, these are all signs of your impending destruction. All right, to you so-called Americans, you Babylonians. Okay, you spiritual Egyptians. Okay? It's getting closer and closer. Every moment that we're down here is one moment closer to all-out destruction of Babylon the Great, and we're starting to see the integral, the architectural, the moral decline of you people. Even the jobs are declining. Everything's declining. Everything's waning. But what's not waning? Esau moving forward with his technology. They got money for that. They got money for wars and weapons and missiles. They got money for that. But all you people are suffering. And what's going to be the conclusion? Well, universal basic income. And how are you going to receive that universal basic income? Well, it's going to be digital. It's going to be tied into a system. And eventually, they're going to say you need to take this, you need to put this inside your body. And see, that's where the elect going to stop. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, because as they're rolling out this system, you're going to have people that are going to fight up against this system and speak to come up against this system. Whether, you even have that today where you have the right, the political right, the far right, basically saying we need to stand up and fight against the left. Look what they're doing. And you have the same thing or vice versa. The left is enraged at the right to where they can't even have dialogue no more. They get ready to so-called duke it out. And then you have racial tension that's at an all-time high. So things are at that boiling point where they're about to explode. And again, this is all biblical prophecy. The Lord, he warned us of these things. These were signs of Yahushua returning back. Okay? For there shall be sedition among men. What sedition is basically, speaking against the government. Okay? Saying things that incite people to take up arms and to fight against the government. And they're going to deem what we're speaking as sedition. Okay? For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So people going to invade. You're going to have militias, and people, we're going to take back this county. We're going to take back, we're going to take back Florida. Okay? The Proud Boys, the so-called white conservative movements, these so-called militias, these constitutionalists. And then you're going to have the left. We're going to take back California. We're going to succeed. And they're going to be fighting against each other, and they're going to be duking it out. All right, and there's more guns in America than there are people. I mean, how many guns per person here in America? I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 10 guns. Let's look it up. How many guns in America per person? Let's see. As of 2025, this is the AI search assist. As of 2025, there are approximately 1.5 guns per person in the United States. This means that on average, there are more guns than people in the country. There you go. And I'm not sure where they get their data from. And are they including ghost guns? Are they including guns that, that these big manufacturers are not making? Or, there's a lot of guns that these manufacturers make that they traffic. There's probably way more guns in circulation. There's probably maybe 3, 4, 5 guns per person in the United States. Okay? And these people, they're going to pick up them guns. And they're going to fight each other. That's how bad it's going to get. Okay? And we're going to witness all these things. All right, but the Lord is going to deliver his elect from these terrible times. That's the miracle. And you got to believe that. You got to believe that you can be delivered, all right, from all this madness. We read in Revelation 15 how the remnant got victory. Okay, they were in the chariot over the firmament watching the destruction, seeing the lake of fire. Okay? For there shall be sedition among men, invading one another. They shall not regard the kings or princes. The king and the prince are, speaking about the government, the authorities. They're going to say to hell with the government and the authorities. You got people that want Trump out of there. They'll fight. They'll literally fight, pick up arms and raid the Capitol or raid wherever he's at to take this government down, because they believe that he's a dictator. He's setting himself up as a king, and he's going against the Constitution. All right, and they have the right within the Constitution to take down the government if the government has too much overreach, if the government is not for the people. So the people actually believe this, and they're gonna go and fight against the government. Nevertheless, Esau he love that. He love a fight. He gonna roll out his AI. He gonna roll out his military. He gonna weapons hot. All right, and he's gonna starve a lot of you people out. How could you fight if you're starved? If you're starving, how could you fight if you're sick? So he's beating the people down. All right, Isaiah the 14th chapter where it speaks about how he, with a continual stroke. Okay, he who ruled the nations in anger. So he's laying a siege on you right now. That's why he's crashing the economy. He's taking away these particular jobs, and the excuse now, the reaction of the people, they're afraid, they're crashing out, they're in sorrow, they're mourning, they're mad, they're angry, so many emotions, and now the solution is what? A digital solution, universal basic income, which is going to bring you, it's going to basically cage you in even more. It's going to make you a slave even more, because now you have no other choice. This is the only time where are you going to get money from? What job is out there? And then you can't use dollars, so you can't barter, you can't do particular things like that. All transactions are going to be digital, so everything's going to be on a ledger. What you going to do? So we're coming into a different time. Okay, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay, you got these 15-minute cities. You're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have people that's going to be not allow you to go into particular neighborhoods. All right, because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. See? There's going to be no jobs. There's going to be no bread. There's going to be famine. There's going to be diseases. Okay? Then you're going to have the rich and the poor. It's going to be a very big gap between the rich and the poor. And there's no ability to get a job and win. Okay? So people are going to literally lose it. And we're watching it actually manifest right before our eyes. All right? And it's clear, it is evident. And it's a beautiful thing. We actually love it. Okay? We love doing videos like this. Okay? We love seeing the fall of our enemies. What is that? Ecclesiasticus 25:7. He that seeth the fall of his enemy. Let me just bring that out. All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. Okay. Sirach 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. Yeah, we're happy. Okay. This is the good news. This is the gospel. The Lord taking down our enemies. We watching these people mourn right before our eyes. Okay, and we in the house of mourning. Okay, but the house of mourning, the Lord, he puts us through all these particular situations to harden us. Ecclesiastes the 7th chapter speaks about how through the sorrowness, the heart is made better. I'm just vaguely paraphrasing. Through the sorrowness of the mind, the heart is made better, because you're going to have a strong mind in these times to be able to withstand all these. Our goods are going to be taken away from us. Okay, our standard of living is going to be dramatically, decreased. If you're so used to be able to eat at any given moment, have money on any given moment, be in pleasure at any given moment because you doing good, and just the conveniences. Okay, just the conveniences. This is why the scriptures speak about, Isaiah 32, how these women, they gonna lament for the teats, the pleasant fields. Okay. They gonna lament basically for the good old times where when they were just living free and just everything at their beck and call. They wanted some chicken. They wanted chicken and fries, or they wanted a pizza. Let me just go to the store. Let me just order a pizza. Or let me get a DiGiorno's, put it in the oven. Or I want a cake. Oh, let me just call, let me just call the cake store to get the cake. Or I can bake the cake. I got, flour. What happens when flour is a scarce commodity? When corn is a scarce commodity, okay? Well, get a job is scarce commodity. What happens when a man is a scarce commodity? So everything's trending up for the elect. Everything is trending down for you wicked people. Okay, the wicked amongst our people. Okay, the wicked men, the wicked women, and you heathen nations, y'all about to lose. And Esau, you the biggest loser of them all. Okay, everybody's getting ready to lose, save the elect. Okay, there be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy. And a 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that has joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Okay, and we're living to see the fall of our enemy. This is the fall. The Lord is returning, okay, the judgment, the revenge upon Esau. It is a righteous thing when the Most High to recompense trouble to them that recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. So this is the righteous thing. These people are getting their just desert. So, hey, look, I'm going to close it there. All praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops, the great millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to you, fellow brothers. Shalom to the elect.